Hey, welcome to 615 Local Live. Yes, we are live right here on YouTube and Facebook. We tried to go live on Twitter, but it's deciding to throw a snit fit. So that's not going to happen tonight. Unless you're watching on replay, we are live. So, hey, you're going to want to stick around. We have a local business owner with us, Nadia, the owner of Healthy Glow Spray Tans. Down in Franklin, Tennessee. She also has mobile service available. So if you're afraid to leave your home still during this pandemic, she will come to you. It looks like so. We'll have her answer your questions, and if you do have any live questions, please put them in the comments area. Put a Q right before it so I know it is a question, and I can toss those questions to Nadia to answer for you. Anything about spray tanning, obviously, she will be the expert on that. So hey, what we want to do right now is find out what local businesses that you like to support out there in the 615 area code. You know, that covers 14 counties, pretty far stretch all the way up here to Cheatham County, where I am, all the way down, I believe, to Williamson County, maybe a little bit even further. I know part of it reaches into Spring Hill, way out there to DeKalb County and out to Dixon County. So if you're in any of those areas and you want to share with us a small business, local business that's in those areas, please throw that into the comments. We would definitely like to support them, put them up on our Instagram, our Facebook, any way that we can to help support local business in the 615. If you happen to be watching and you're not in the 615 area, tell us where you are and local business you support in your area, because it is all about supporting local, of course. So, hey, I did start 615 local back mid 2020 when I just kind of saw what the pandemic was doing to some local businesses that I support, and a little disappointed how you could go into, we'll say, the big box stores and do business there, but you couldn't go in and get a cup of coffee. You couldn't go in and order a cold one and sit up at the bar anymore and things like that, at your local pub. So I just saw things were a little unfair, maybe a little uneven. So I wanted to do something positive and give back. And that's one reason I started this, and to just pretty much just supporting local, telling people the local businesses I was supporting. I was getting out driving around, couldn't really do much anything else. And anybody that had curbside or let you take a beer home, or I was trying to support that at the time. So please let us know what you do to support local in your area. Throw it in the comments area. I'd love to hear from you. So, hey, right now we're going to go ahead and bring our guest on, which is pretty much what everybody's here for, or watching on replay. Nadia, like I said, she is the owner of Healthy Glow Spray Tans down in Franklin, Tennessee. And we're going to bring her onto the show. Give me just 1 second to do that. Hey, Nadia, how you doing?
Hey, Daniel. So nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you, just so everybody knows, Nadia actually made the trip up from Franklin here to Pleasant View, where I am, so we could have this all set up and working correctly. Sometimes the technology that some people have might not be what I need to bring them live and to give you the information you need. So I always welcome them to come up and use my space as well. So if you are a small business and you want to be able to do that, but you don't have the technology at your place, please reach out to me still. We can make it happen for you. So anyway, Nadia, I appreciate you making the drive up today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, well, hey, we're going to dive right in real quick. Just tell everybody who you are and what got you, to where we are right now.
Yeah, I a little bit of background on me. I grew up over in Germany, actually, spent all my life over there, came here to the United States for college, lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for about 10 years, and just moved to a beautiful Nashville just about a year ago now, actually.
Okay, so you came from Germany to here. Now, how old were you when that happened?
I was let's see, I was about 19 when I came over here to the States fully. To make a long story short, retired military family, so a lot of traveling there.
Gotcha. Well, we're glad to have you here now, and especially in the Nashville area. And obviously, as a proud business owner, we definitely want to support. So we're just going to kind of dig into some of these questions that I'm sure people always ask you quite a bit when they're coming in, for the first time, especially. So if you could kind of walk somebody through what would that first time experience be like as a new client. Let's say they've already booked the appointment and everything and done everything that's required ahead of time, but how do you make them feel comfortable and ready for that first experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I get a lot of first time spray tanners actually, and I know it can be an intimidating process, an unusual process. You're, standing in front of a stranger, getting stuff painted on you, something that, you're not always familiar with. I try to make everyone feel as comfortable as possible. A lot of questions I get is like, what do I wear? How much or how little do I wear? And I always answer with that is completely up to everyone's individual comfort level. I do have disposable undies for those who choose to wear those. You can stay in your own undies. You can be nude. I've tanned people wearing shorts if you're not quite comfortable, undressing to a certain level. So it's really up to everyone's own comfort level, and just try to kind of walk everyone through the process as we go along, like what is happening, what am I doing to you here, and all that.
So I'm sure people are kind of nervous the first time, especially, that level of undress, in front of a complete stranger. How is there like a way that you communicate with them to kind of make them feel more relaxed?
Yeah, and that is kind of something I run through someone who comes in. I explain the process, how it works, and again, like we said, let them know it's totally up to everyone's individual comfort level. You can wear as much or as little as you'd like to. Once we start the process, it's actually a lot of fun. We have an island vibe going on. We have some fun music, and the entire process is actually pretty quick. So once you get used to it, we have a good time.
All right, so we're going to backtrack just a little bit. And like I said, when I gave you these questions, I told you they would probably not be in order because I do that quite a bit. So what got you started? If nobody's read your About Us section on your website or anything, what got you started in the spray tanning industry?
Yeah, actually, I had two close friends who were diagnosed with melanoma, and that is something that I was very unfamiliar with when I started this, and it kind of made me realize the actual dangers of UV rays, of the tanning beds, of things like that. It's oftentimes sadly brushed off as like, oh, a little skin cancer. Melanoma, in fact, is actually different. It is caused by UV rays and can spread just as much as any other cancer through the lymph nodes. So that's really brought up a big awareness in me and has made me kind of try to think of, okay, what other reasons are there if you don't want to give up your vanity of being tan? This is definitely a much safer, better way to tan, and also actually helps in general your skincare. There's a lot of great anti-aging benefits, moisturizing benefits, and stuff like that in the spray tan solution itself.
All right. So obviously, when this happened to your friends, that's something you saw that you wanted to be a solution to that for other people. Mm-hmm. But that industry was already there, though. So yes. You kind of took it on. Did you more take it on? You wanted to find a better way to do it, even though people were already being spray tanned?
Yeah. So kind of yes and no. I just kind of, my goal and mission was really to get out there and to raise awareness for it. I've always been very passionate about small businesses, used to work with a small business for many years before I actually started this. And the main thing for me was, I guess, not to create something new as much as just help spread the awareness. I donate to a lot of like cancer research foundations, things like that, and just try to participate as much as I can in that.
So it's real passion for you, especially with what happened to your friends. So
it is.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. And I think that's that when people have a reason to start something, just like I did, I had a passion for wanting to support local businesses because I saw what was happening to them. You have a passion to help people tan better without having, getting the skin cancer, or
without the
melanoma,
bad stuff.
without the negative side effects of that.
Correct.
Especially this harsh Tennessee sun, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, I know you moved your business here in the middle of the pandemic or when it started and so forth. So you were trying to get all set up and everything when everything was still shut down. There was probably a lot of regulations against personal. I know even to get for a while there, nobody could even get a haircut. So,
yeah.
So I'm sure with the spray tan industry, it was the same way. There was just no way you could probably open up right away, right?
Absolutely, there was. That is correct. I started the business back in Charlotte, North Carolina, actually, and then moved to Nashville last year, kind of in the midst of the pandemic, which was really a great idea on my end there. Probably the worst timing, but we survived and we're pushing through. It was during that shutdown and during the closure that I was working on kind of all the background stuff, finding a place to rent, things like that. So I was fortunate in a way that I didn't have to shut down per se because I wasn't quite open yet.
Gotcha. So what time were you able to start actually having clients come in or going to them mobily?
Yeah, it was actually September 1st of last year. So just over 1 year exactly now.
No, they didn't have to wear a mask the whole time where they were getting straightened.
Not during the face tan, no.
Okay.
We'd have some funny tan lines there.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, okay, that would look quite interesting. Everybody had a white beard then.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to bring up a video that you have. Actually, before we do that, let me ask you real quick, how long do most of these sessions take? Like, I'm sure there's different levels and so forth. How long does a normal session take, like saving for a first timer?
Yeah, on average, it's about a 30-minute time block. The actual spray tan itself takes about 15 minutes, not very long at all. I go over a lot of like the before care, the after care as well. So the first time clients do take a little bit longer just because I have a lot of kind of explanation to do. I walk everyone through the process, kind of tell them what we're going to be doing, and then the actual tan itself only takes about 15 minutes.
And I know later we're going to bring that up on your website. You got a great FAQ area on your website, and we'll kind of go through that, and you can just kind of highlight some points in that. So not to spoil that, but we will kind of cover that for people that are just curious where to find that information. But first, we're going to bring up this quick video, and you're just going to explain to us what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Well, if it decides it wants to work. There we go.
Yeah, so this video is actually a collaboration with Brindle and Arc Films, which I loved doing, and it was great. So what you're seeing here is kind of the barrier cream we put on the hands before the appointment. Just kind of helps the hands and the feet not soak up the solution as much as we wanted to. And then we see the model being spray tanned. Like I said, it's just a pretty quick process. I do powder everyone off in the end. It's just kind of a spray tan setting and drying powder. Just helps with that sticky and tacky feeling afterwards.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're going to also now go to, let me bring that up. Here is your website. So I know you have some great information on here especially for people how to book their tanning session, especially if they're a first timer as well. So.
Yeah, the online booking process is actually super easy, but booking works over the phone or over text message as well. But I just wanted to have that option to book online and just make it just quick and easy as well.
Okay, so you have you got a new client form here, and these are just consent forms, I take it?
They are, yes, correct.
Is that a one and done, or they don't have to do that every time, right?
Yeah, just a one and done first time client.
Okay. So down below, you start listing your services. You want to kind of explain what some of these are?
Yeah, and that I know can sometimes be a little bit confusing too. When you've never had a spray tan, you're kind of looking at it, you're like, well, what's a rapid tan? What's a regular tan? In terms of booking the appointment in and of itself, we can always change that upon the appointment. And I do go over everything again right before we start, kind of explain the differences there. Really, the main difference between a regular tan and a rapid tan is just the shower time / how long it's left on the body before rinsing off. So it's kind of a personal preference thing. Either the level of tan can be achieved the same thing with either solution. So don't let anything unfamiliar like that throw you off. That's something we can always decide upon the appointment as well.
Obviously, call if you got a question, right?
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, we are running the website URL, website address below. So if you want to know how to get to this website, healthyglowtans.com, it's right there below. It's kind of hard not to spell that correctly, because if I can do it and type it on here, anybody should be able to. All right. So with the different types of, we'll say, body styles or skin tones, there we go. That's the word I'm looking for. What, how do you kind of address that? How do you know, like, a first time person's coming in, is that like a quick, what solution to get ready for them based on the skin tone you're seeing right off the bat? Or you ask them questions over the phone, or is that part of the booking process?
Yeah, so that's something I actually decide at the appointment. I kind of do just a quick skin consultation. I'll look at the skin tone, the undertones, what the undertones of the skin are. What I ask a couple of questions, how easily we tan, how easily we burn. If it's for an event like a wedding versus a vacation, that kind of thing is all taken into consideration as well. I generally like to keep it on just a really nice natural side. But that is something that's just evaluated upon kind of several factors like that.
Got you. Okay. Well, like I said earlier, you do have a great FAQ section on here for what people need to do before their tan, after their tan, and so forth. Do you want to kind of just run through this and highlight the main points here?
Yeah. And the same as the appointment, I know there's a lot of rules kind of containing spray tans. When you break it down, it's really fairly simple. Just before the appointment, the skin should be exfoliated. The exfoliation makes the old or dead skin cells kind of wash off or come off. That way we have a clean slate, so to speak, to spray tan on. Just make sure you arrive without any like makeup, deodorant, lotion, anything like that. Nothing that's going to create a barrier on the skin for that tanning solution to go on. And then just dark and loose clothing afterwards is always a good idea. It can feel a little bit sticky, a little bit tacky afterwards. There is a bronzer in the solution that can potentially rub off on clothing. So just kind of I always say, like, kind of arrive like a homeless person. Don't be wearing anything fancy. Just come to me in like your jammies, boyfriend's sweatpants. That's totally good.
Well, hopefully they shower before. So I got to ask, I got a beard. So how do you handle a guy like me that has a beard, that don't want to shave it off? How do you spray the face? And, is the beard going to change colors too, or what's going to happen there?
It generally does not. We spray the face pretty lightly anyway, just so we don't get too dark of a change in tone there. Over a beard, it can potentially cause a little bit of a color differentiation just on that first day when that bronzer is in there. What makes the tan actually is a DHA in the product, which enables the actual skin to tan. So your hair doesn't have that, so that won't actually cause a tan. Just the bronzer might get on it. That washes off though.
Okay, so as we go through this FAQ, after the aftercare part that's pretty important, obviously, because now the tanning solution's applied. What are the biggest questions you get about that mostly?
Yeah, so my kind of number one rule always is ditch the Dove. Dove is a very popular product that a lot of people use, like their lotion, their shower gel, that can actually interfere with the spray tan in not the best way. So what we want to look for in general is using natural and organic products. Mainly what you want to look for is sulfate-free, paraben-free, that kind of thing. That way it won't interfere with the spray tan or harm it in any way. Like rubbing it off, causing it to be streaky. Generally speaking, though, the aftercare is pretty easy. We want to stick to shorter, cooler showers, no long, hot showers. Anything that's going to dry out your skin is going to, of course, kind of dry out that tan that is on your skin. So really the basic rules are just make sure you moisturize, make sure you hydrate, and ditch the dove.
All right. So everybody's going to take cold showers now. How long does a typical spray tan last for most of your clients?
Yeah, on average, about a week, give or take, and that depends a lot also on that aftercare. If we're, using the wrong products, if we're jumping in the pool a whole lot, that kind of thing is all going to shorten the life of the tan. But on average, I'd say about 7 to 10 days, maybe, as the skin naturally sheds. A skin's shed cycle is about every week, so with that, the spray tan is going to shed off as well.
Yeah, so we're all lizards. Okay, great. Hey, so I'm sure most of you get a lot of female clients that are, either going on a holiday or, of course, I'm saying it the European way, holiday. We call it vacations here in the United States, or they're probably going to a wedding or a party or something like that. Is that mostly what you normally get, or just some people just come in weekly and do this?
Yeah, it's actually a good 50-50 mix. I do get a lot of events, a lot of brides, a lot of proms and things like that as well if we're in season, a lot of vacations. But then the other half is really just people who are generally aware of like taking care of your skin, not going in the sun, but still wanting to be that tan. I do have different package options for that as well, for someone who wants to come in more often.
Now, I'm sorry if you actually said this already, because sometimes I have to look around here and I kind of lose what people have said. But if you go out in the sun, you're going on vacation and you want to go to the beach and you already want to look tan, is this providing any layer of protection, or do they still need to use sunscreen and so forth?
It does not, and that's actually a common misconception, is it does not provide any kind of sun protection. You can actually tan over a spray tan, but it does not contain any kind of SPF or anything. So definitely a sunscreen is still going to need to be used.
Now, is there any types of sunscreens they should avoid or that you do recommend if they are heading to the beach?
There are, and that's actually a list that I don't even have in my head.
And that's fine. I didn't help you for that question.
No, you're good. There are different brands, like Kula is a great brand to use. And that's if someone is going on vacation or anything like that specifically, I'll always text kind of a list of like the safe body washes, the safe sunscreens and things like that to use.
Okay. Well, I know you're pretty active on social, but before we get to that, I just wanted to show everybody real quick. And I know this is hard to read, but Healthy Glow Spray Tans does have all 5 stars on the Google reviews right now. So, and if you want to go and read some of these reviews from the people that have left them, obviously I'm sure, you get a ton of clients out there that are happy. They're just too lazy to go out there and make that review. I mean, I try to push people and tell them, hey, you want to support a local business, get out there and write these reviews, people. It
Absolutely.
Really does matter. More reviews helps these local businesses shine on Google, especially when people are searching. If they're searching for spray tans, who's ever got the more reviews is probably going to show up higher in the search rankings. So
that is true, and I appreciate you saying that as well. That is something I think we forget a lot of times, and it just means so much to any small business owner, is just those reviews.
And as a small business owner, one thing that I do is I reach out to people that I've interacted with, and and it's like, please leave me a review. Please leave 5 local a review, and because sometimes they just need that reminder.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a helpful point that I learned from somebody else, and you might get a 20% return on that, but it's worth shooting those emails or texts out and just, hey, if you were satisfied, please leave a review. We'd appreciate it. So,
absolutely.
if you weren't satisfied, tell us on the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I was looking at your social, and this was a post that you did. It kind of goes back to that skin tone question that I brought up earlier. And I was like, whoa, I never thought about, African-American going in and getting spray tanned. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's not quite as common to be spray tanning on African-American skin because a lot of times people just don't know. And it actually, on darker skin tones, creates just a really beautiful kind of a nice golden glow. It gets rid of any ashiness, it gets rid of any dryness, things like that, and just creates a nice, more consistent color and a nice golden glow.
All right. Well, that's good to know. I mean, obviously, I don't have to worry about that, but it was just something that kind of caught me by surprise. But I noticed that you have a lot of clients that post pictures, and you get to reuse that information. That's great, and that's another way clients can actually help you out as a small business owner. Post those pictures, show those tans, especially when you're out and about, when you're out doing what you wanted to get tan for. You're going, if you're going on a vacation, you're going to the beach, or you're going to a wedding, post those pictures, tag your local business, that gave you that service, so they can use that information to, share with other clients. So, because most people nowadays, they look at reviews, and a lot of times they might go, okay, that's great and all, but seeing is believing, right? Visuals actually help a lot. So that's another way you can help your local businesses, is tag them and post about what they did for you, and in the setting that you're comfortable with as well. So that's definitely something I want to push people to do as well. So
absolutely.
So, hey, I love seeing how active you are on social. This is great because, it's the way of the world nowadays, right? This is how everybody learns about everybody nowadays, is online, or word of mouth. The word of mouth is probably still the old fashioned way that people do it. Friends will still ask friends, but if they're new, as we know in the Nashville area, there's a lot of new people here. And so they're trying to learn about local services that they use out in California or South Carolina or New York or wherever, and they're trying to replace those people now locally. So it's always good, like you're doing, is you're keeping it fresh and allowing people to find out more about you. So that's great.
Absolutely.
And I know you're also pretty active on Facebook as well. And one thing I got to commend you for is you give all the information here. Is you got your address, you got your phone number. Sometimes I go to some businesses Facebook page, and it's like I don't even know where they're located because they don't even have an address there. It's like they do the bare minimum to get the page up, and then that's it. So do you get a lot of feedback on social from your posts and so forth?
I do. I've found that Instagram is actually the kind of the main way, aside from Google, of course. Google is still the main way that clients find me, but then Instagram has been kind of the second largest in terms of an online existence. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's good. I'm glad people are actually making that interaction, because I saw a post not too long ago. It costs nothing to comment, save a post, share a post, and like a post, but that actually helps that business with the analytics that Instagram uses and Google uses and so forth. So if you don't have the money to do a spray tan right now, but you're really interested in it, go out and share, save, and comment, and it really does help these local businesses
absolutely
get seen more. So they come up more on other people's feeds. So anyway, Nadia, is there anything else that I forgot to ask that you want to inform people about?
I think on my end, you covered all the bases there.
Well, good. Hey, real quick, I know you're still kind of new to the area, and this is kind of, if I don't mean to throw you under the bus here, but is there any local businesses that you like to support, or you go out and have used?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you mentioned, I'm still fairly new to the area, and then COVID hasn't helped in getting out very much. But I have found a great hair person, and that was kind of my biggest thing in moving, is I love my hair girl in Charlotte. Wanted to cry when I left her, wanted to pack her in my bag and take her with me. But Kayla Moore is also in the Franklin area. She has KLM Studios, and she is absolutely fantastic. One of the rare people who I could sit down and say do anything, and I know it would look fantastic.
That's great. And, that just helped me learn about another new business. Obviously,
Yeah.
I don't usually go to beauty salons, but I have a local barber, and I found out about that local barber by asking the question on a Facebook channel, for here in Pleasant View, and
Yeah.
90 people responded with the same guy. So,
Gotta mean something.
he got my business, and he'll get my son's business as well. And as soon as my son ever decides to let me have his haircut again. But hey, I want to thank you for coming on, and and doing what you do to being a local business. I know it's hard out there, especially at this time of the world. And so we appreciate everything that you do, and keep in touch with us. And if there's anything that you got coming up that you want to let people know about, or a special, especially if you're running any special, let us know about it, and we'll definitely be able to help promote that out for you. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you having me on the show. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be here tonight.
Well, thank you very much. All right, we're going to say bye to Nadia now. So if you do have any further questions for Nadia later, please put them in the comment section. I will shoot them over to her, and she'll get a hold of you somehow. You're just going to have to let me know how she can get a hold of you, or I'm going to have to relay the question. Either one, we'll make it work for you. So obviously, I know people are going to watch this on replay, so don't hold back your questions. This is how a small business can grow, is by you asking the questions and feeling comfortable about using their services. So, all right. Thanks again, Nadia. And we will let you go now. All right, everybody. Well, that's our show for the day. What I want to say is, remember to go out and support local. When you think about getting your car serviced, when you think about going out and eating, having your dog taken care of, or your cat or lizard, whatever you might have running around your house, think about supporting a local business. There's times that is a little hard. When I go and buy technology, I can't always find it local, so I might have to still use Amazon or eBay and so forth. But even on there, when you're shopping on Amazon and eBay and so forth, you might actually still be supporting a local business that's doing that behind the scenes. So just try to think about these things before you go out and spend your hard-earned money. We want to keep that money within our community, because when you spend local, I think they're saying 68 cents now on every dollar pretty much stays within our local community, or the community you spent it in. So think about that before you do it. All right. Well, that's our show for the day. My name's Dan Shaw. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about us, please visit, let me bring that up on the screen, 615local.co. And there's tons of local businesses on there. We're always adding more. So you can learn about them, find their Instagrams, find their Facebooks, and some information about the owners as well. So thank you, and everybody have a good evening.